And staying with football, it's been a week for breaking down barriers in the beautiful game. On Monday, you might remember Rebecca Welch from Washington became the first female to referee in the Football League.
And yesterday it was announced that Sunny and Bhupinder Gill will be the first South Asian brothers to officiate a match this weekend.
But there are still concerns not enough's being done to get more British Asians playing football professionally.
Just 15 of the 4,000 pros in this country are British Asian, despite it being the most common ethnic minority in the UK. Andrew Mitter has been speaking to former Newcastle and Sunderland striker Michael Chopra.
Michael Chopra played up front for two of the North East's biggest clubs. He scored more than 100 goals in English football, but his time at the highest level was brief, falling short of the lofty expectations placed on his boyhood shoulders.
Congratulations, well done.
Yet Chopra remains one of only 5 British Asian footballers to have ever played in the Premier League, and he feels fortunate to have done so.
I've been lucky that I never got treated any different. I know people treat Asian players different and that sort of thing. When I was growing up, you get the odd comments or he's too weak, he's too small. That was about 25 years ago. People tend to say that about Asian players and Asian kids.
And in that time, only 4 other South Asian players have made a Premier League appearance. Is that frustrating?
I think so, yeah, because look, you're going back 18 years when I made my debut, 18, 19 years. It's astonishing, them numbers, because I know for a fact there'll be Asian players out there good enough to play, if not in the Premier League, but in the Championship.
Asians make up 7.5% of the UK population, yet they account for less than 0.4% of professional players. And while none have managed to follow in Michael Chopra's footsteps by running out for the Magpies at St James's Park, there are Asians playing football in our region. West End Tigers are a local Saturday League club in Newcastle. Their team includes players from Bangladeshi, Indian and Pakistani backgrounds. Zaf is the manager. He's played and coached in the city for 30 years. Why do you think it is that there are so few British Asian players in the professional game?
I think it's a case of not being discovered. You know, I've managed kids from under 7s up to under 14s, under 15s, and I've come across some fantastic players who could have made it, but unfortunately their counterparts or their teammates would be looked at instead of them. It's 2021 now, and unfortunately things haven't changed.
One of Zaf's players, Aziz, says role models are also important to set the bar for young Asians.
You want someone to look up to when you're watching the football match. You want someone similar to you so you can copy someone, but we didn't have that. Obviously there was other players where you can follow, but you can't really relate to him, if you know what I mean. So it would have been better if there was someone to relate to so you can push yourself to get to that level.
That someone could have been Leicester midfielder Hamza Chowdhury, who was linked with a move to Newcastle United in the January transfer window. There are examples, though, of some barriers perhaps being lifted.
Parents, when I was growing up, had that mindset that their child needs to be a doctor, an accountant, a solicitor. That is not the case nowadays. I have 3 boys myself. They all love football. If they wanted to take up this sport professionally, I would encourage them. I would actually back them up 110%.
And that's a level of commitment that football's leading inclusion organisation says is needed by all to increase Asian involvement in the game.
Everyone should care about this issue because in English football, it's the single largest statistical anomaly. Unless we have a whole game approach, nothing will change.
I think it's years away. I don't think enough's getting done.
It's a message that's echoed throughout the game.
And Andrew joins us in the studio now. Andrew, what is being done then to get more Asian players into the professional game here?
Well, 6 years ago, football's governing body, the FA, launched a plan to create playing opportunities for boys and girls in parts of the country with large South Asian populations. Now, the second phase of it started in 2019, and it mentions places like Luton, Leicester, Burnley. Nowhere in the North East yet, but I'm told by the FA there's going to be another update to the strategy soon. Meanwhile, the PFA, that's the trade union for professional footballers, it launched an Asian mentoring scheme in February. It allows young Asian players that are coming through the ranks to get tips from current and former pros.
I've had parents calling me, from scholars saying that how much they've enjoyed the course, how much they appreciate being connected to some of these senior players. I've had the scholars calling me themselves saying how it's helped their performance. If there's 15 professional players right now, in the next 5-10 years, if I can see that number to 30, that's a start. And I think what we're doing now, we're just making a start in this whole area.
Now, one element that's still facing those few professional players is racist abuse. Swansea City midfielder Jan Danda was racially abused on Instagram recently, and he said what was most upsetting is that there are so few other Asian players in the game to act as a support network. And it's not just players either. There are hardly any other Asian coaches, scouts, referees. That needs addressing too, which the FA says it's looking at. So things are being done, there's reasons to be optimistic, but look, the underrepresentation of British Asians in football was flagged as an issue in 1996. 25 years on, there's still a lot more to be done.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done. An important issue. Andrew, thank you very much.
Absolutely.